Good morning, welcome to Planet Mojo. Today I'm going to be planting the bare root bur oak trees. Hopefully the audio isn't too messed up on this. Come on, cat. Cat likes to be on my shoulders. Hopefully the audio isn't too messed up on this. We have 20 to 25 mile an hour winds today, sustained all day. But the trees are coming today and you want to get them in the ground as soon as possible. I have most of my stuff ready to go. I need to get a level and a couple other little things. The trees haven't arrived yet, but they're scheduled to arrive today. So I'm going to go out and start digging the holes ahead of time. I have 12 trees to plant and the weather is just not going to cooperate. Tomorrow we are supposed to be getting 3 to 5 inches of snow, and then we have a lot of rain in the forecast for the days after that, and the trees just will not wait. So I'm going to try to get 12 trees in the ground today. I have the stakes for half of them. As you can tell, it's a very windy up on top of the ridge here, so any newly planted tree has to be staked. I don't know if I could show it to you right now, but well, I can kind of show it to you right here. You can see how this lilac leans. This apple right here, you can see the lean on that as well. And you can see the lean on that apple as well. Those were staked, and even after being staked, once the stakes were off, the high winds around here keep pushing it until it has a lean like that. Most of the trees in the woods have somewhat of a lean as well. But if you don't stake it, we found out, it'll just knock the tree right over. So they will be staked. And that's about it. I gotta go get the rest of the stuff and head up and start digging holes. Okay, I think I have everything I need. I got some gypsum. We have heavy clay soil around here. So if I dig a 2-foot deep hole, it's going to be kind of smooth and heavy clay at the bottom of the hole. So what I do is drop in a couple handfuls of gypsum down there, and the gypsum, once it's activated by the water, it will turn the clay into regular soil, really. It works wonders. So I'm going to throw a little bit of gypsum down each hole, a little bit of my fertilizer blend, because I want this deep down where the roots are going to be able to use it, at least for the first year. After that, they're pretty much on their own. And I have some amendments. I don't want to amend the soil too much, just a little bit, enough to bring the level of soil back up to where it needs to be, up to ground level. You lose a bit when you take out the turf, and enough to loosen up the clay a bit so that the roots can get their initial growth. You don't want to amend it too much, otherwise you can get hole bound, which is where your roots will hit the edges, and they don't want to try to go into the clay, so they just keep going round and round and ends up killing the tree. You also want to scarify the edges of the hole as well, so I have my little hand spade for that. I got the rope for tying them up, but I forgot to get the straps. I got to go back over to the greenhouse and pick up the straps. I have enough stakes for 6 of them. I can only carry enough water for 1 hole each. When they're watered in the first time, what you're doing is getting rid of air pockets and getting the soil settled in around the roots. I'm also going to tamp, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem. But after that initial watering, they really don't need water again for a good while. They're not transpiring yet, so which means they're not breathing because they don't have any leaves yet. So until they have leaves, they don't need a whole lot of water. And if you overwater them right after planting a bare root tree, you run the risk of rotting out the root before they get started. So once they're planted and watered in, it's kind of a play it by ear thing. Okay, so I'm going to go get them straps and dig some holes. I'm at the first hole location. I dug these in the fall last year. There's a video on that. I left them a little bit shy of full. That's why, another reason why I need some soil amendments. I'm going to lose a bit of soil here. But I drilled these down, I think it was 18 inches to 2 feet. I think I tried to get 2 feet. And then I added a good deal of amendments and watered them in real well. Now what that did was it gave it, 6 months to wash nutrients down below where the tree's going to be. And it's mostly potassium and phosphorus. Nitrogen would just be gone. So now I'm going to add I'm going to add the same fertilizer mix to the bottom of this hole along with gypsum. But really all I got to do now is I'm going to go about 2 feet. I haven't seen the trees yet, so I'm hoping that's about where they're at. This is an old grapevine right here. Another one here. This area was a huge mess. You can go back and see all the old videos on that. Around these boxes, this was just like a jungle. It took me days to get rid of all this stuff. You could see the old stump right there. There's a woodchuck den right there as well. And you can see my new grass. I planted quite a bit of grass. I'm not sure how many pounds, but the pasture here is really greening up. This was neglected for at least a dozen years. It was mostly goldenrod, but now it's looking pretty nice. All right, let's get digging. Okay, the trees are here, but it's kind of a disappointment already. This is a 58-inch box, which is less than 5 feet. 5 feet is 60 inches. And these are supposed to be 5 to 6 foot trees. So something's a little bit jacked up right from the beginning. But hopefully when I open them up, they're not maples. But we'll see. It says right on here 12 bur oak 4 to 5, so maybe that's what she ordered. Standing here, this one right here, they were kind of curled up in the box, sitting on its root ball. This one is close to 6 feet, so I guess I'll do. So what I gotta do is separate out enough for the holes that I'm going to dig today and get them in water, get them soaking, and then get back to the holes. There was a mix-up last year. I don't know, maybe it was you buy a dozen, you get a cheaper price or something like that. But we originally thought we were gonna get 10, and that's what I laid out over in the field and prepped the holes and everything for, and then we ended up getting a dozen. And I've been thinking we're getting a dozen this whole time, but I forgot all about, only laying out for 10 of them. So I'm hoping I can lay out 2 more holes. I can either do them, well, I'll show you that later. Right now I gotta get this cut open and separate out 10 of them right away and put them in some water. Okay, that's 10 of them soaking. I still have, I'm not sure. I think I got 3 or 4 holes left. I think I got 4 holes left to dig. These have to soak for 2 hours, so around 2 hours. A little bit more won't hurt it. I'm going to leave these in the bag. They haven't started sprouting yet, so it'll be good as long as I don't let it dry out, and it should be fine in its own bag. It's nice and cool on this floor, so I'm going to try to get the 10 in, and then if I can, lay it out and get the last 2 in. My wife just stopped in and said she did order the 4 to 5 feet because you have to reserve the 5 to 6 foot ones, and they didn't have any. It was late in the year. So these are perfectly fine, and I need to go dig some holes. Okay, the last 2 trees are soaking now. They are an hour behind the other ones, and I've laid out the last 2. We're gonna have we're gonna be able to drive through here and ride the horses and stuff, so I'll just put the fence right on this side of the trees like I'm doing up there. And these are strategically placed, so as soon as they get a little bigger, they'll block the view of the neighbors there. So that's the plan. See that one right there is staying, at least for now, and then there's one right back there, and there's a couple in there, so hopefully we won't get a dead-on view of the neighbor. But let's get these trees in.